Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Boozer here. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video, we're gonna go over something I haven't made a video on, but I feel like it's one of the most important things to farm in this game, and that's gonna be Dark Fae. So Dark Fae is the final boss in one of the Doom Tower rotations, Rotation 3. She drops the very important lethal gear, and this is basically just an upgraded savage set. So it gives the ignore defense bonus as well as a extra crit rate bonus on it. So it's one of the most important sets for all players to have. So for example, yeah, so the lethal set 10% crit rate, and then the ignore 25, so same as savage with an extra 10% crit rate. All endgame players farm lethal gear. It's also, when you craft it, it gives you a higher percentage chance of actually getting something good, because we all know how hard it is to actually get good usable pieces from savage or any other sets we farm from dungeons. So forging it is actually way more effective in terms of getting usable pieces. Obviously use charms and whatnot on them. I recommend crit rate as the substat, and then the body piece, usually I go for one of the bottom 3 pieces, so glove, chest, or boots. Glove seems like the most important since the crit damage glove is not that easy to get. So and yeah, crit rate for the substat. But anyways, in this video we're gonna go over some teams, more budget friendly teams that I've come up with, that work really well for Dark Fae. So I'll go over the team that I use regularly. So this is a team I use regularly. My best time is minute 39, and it comes with Lysandra and Herndig, which is a legendary, both of which can be replaced, and I'll show you guys some alternatives. But this team is like basically like a 98% farm. I rarely see this team ever fail, and it's pretty quick, minute 39, about 2 minutes usually. And generally, like, the way this works is you want to keep her turn meter down. So that's the way to beat her. You have to keep her turn meter down, make sure she doesn't get a turn, and then you just kill her in time. So usually the way we achieve this is by having a really fast team, making her slow, so putting slow down on her, decrease speed, giving your team increased speed if possible, or increasing your turn meter if possible to speed up your team, and then also having champions that can manipulate her turn meter, so decrease turn meter on hit, those type of champions. So for example, like this team, my main team, I use Lysandra, which controls her turn meter, speeds up my team. She has multiple moves that do that. Roll guard do the enemy max HP hit. They are capped at 10% of her max HP, so they can't exceed 10% per hit. However, he does have a defense down on the A1, as well as a turn meter and decrease speed on the A3. That's super important. So roll guard is actually a super MVP for Dark Fae. So if you guys have one, definitely slot him in. Herndig is actually one of the better nuking champions. So because he has a full term, he has a turn meter reduction on his A3. It's a long cooldown, but he can at least bring some turn meter help as well as be a nuker. And Allure is the other super MVP for this boss. Super MVP. If you have an Allure, she makes this boss a million times easier. I had to do this boss without Allure, and it was not fun. So anyways, let's go over some of the teams that I came up with that were a little bit more budget friendly. So I got these 2 teams here. They're a little bit more budget friendly. So the first team, I got 2 roll guards, a deacon, a level 50 cold heart, and a allure. Don't mind the time. It's on manual, so it was on manual. Definitely can be full autoed, but I didn't bother setting the preset. I just want to make sure that I can get through it. It was super clean. The boss never took a turn. 92 turn cycle versus 75. So you can kind of see how the relative speeds would be. Like this team would probably do like a 2-minute 30, maybe 3-minute run if it was on full auto. But you can see the relative stats here. So the way it works is like Deacon's in the lead. He does the turn meter, decreased defense, and then the allure comes in after. AoE sleeps, you know, the waves, and then you kind of just kill all the waves. You kind of kill all the waves, and then when you show up at Dark Fae, you have all your skills ready. So Deacon would go AoE decreased defense. Allure would sleep everybody, AoE, and sometimes, and my Allure has some damage on her, so she can actually maybe kill the Cold Heart or kill one of the copies off. And then both roll guards would just use the takedown slams and then slam the mirror team dead. And then once the mirror team's dead, the Dark Fae is exposed, and at which case you would rely probably on the Cold Heart to Heart Seeker the turn meter. So key stats to worry about here is like the Dark Fae is actually really fast, like 250 speed on level 120. So you need ideally at least a 250 speed starting champion that will speed up your team, ideally, or you have the rest of your team very fast, right? So I have Deacon in the lead. He's like in just speed gear, and he just speeds up the team, has a speed aura. And you see the rest of my champions, they're actually pretty fast, like they're in decent gear. So if you can't hit these stats, you know, we're on 120 hard, right? So I assume you guys have some gear, have some champions. But if you guys can't hit these stats, you know, get rid of the crit damage. Go with speed, get speed, make sure they have accuracy, and you'll be fine. It'll just take slightly longer, but you'll clear the boss. Same thing with Cohort. She doesn't need any like that much damage. She needs accuracy and she needs speed. So you guys can see 230 speed. This basically means that after Deacon Aura plus his turn meter boost, they all have a go before Dark Fae gets a chance to go. And then Allure is super important because she's her sole role is to A1 and control the turn meter. If she's fast, she can do that. If she's slow, it's going to be much harder, and the Dark Fae can maybe break loose, or you need additional help with more turn meter reduction, more turn meter champions. So this is the team I have. It's, I mean, you know, it's kind of budget, but not really. Ideally, you want 330 accuracy on your champions that apply the debuffs, at least 330, because Dark Fae has 330 resistance, which means if you have 330 accuracy, you have about a 90% chance of landing your debuffs. Sometimes 90% is enough, especially if you just need to clear her once if it's your first time. But if you want more reliable clears, you want maybe like 350, 360 accuracy to increase your chance to about 95%. Obviously you want them fast. You don't need them necessarily very tanky because you need to be able to kill your team. And honestly, the second roll guard here is not necessary. It could have been any nuker, but I actually don't have like an epic nuking champion that I wanted to use. Like I have only a Skull Crown, but a Skull Crown has unkillable, so you don't want a Skull Crown in your team that you're facing against as a mirror. So make sure you guys just select a champion that can, you know, has good damage that can kill your team, but also will not be easy to won't survive its own hit. So someone like Leoris would not be a good pick for Skull Crown. I had a Magnar, but Magnar is actually too tanky, so don't use. So Magnar didn't work as well. So I ended up just using 2 roll guards. They can't slam the team dead in one slam, so the second slam is enough to kill the full team. But yeah, you can use any epic nuker, legendary nuker that you guys are using for like arena. But basically, it's an arena team. You just speed up and then you just nuke your team, and then right after your team's dead, you just have the turn meter stuff ready to go for Dark Fae, and then at that point, like, she's just locked down. So the second team I have is similar team. This one's like no damage, not much damage, but a lot of turn meter. So I run 2 allures. One allure is like much slower, and then similar deacon, and then similar like a fast roll guard. And then I use Farrakhan the Fat to get the ally attack, so both allures will attack again. So this is another strategy where you can use an ally attacker in substitution for a turn meter, in combination with turn meter champions, to act as a turn meter champion. So for example, if you only have one allure, you could bring like one allure, Fat Man, and like maybe like Armorger, and then when the Fat Man uses the ally attack, he basically acts as a turn meter reduction champion, because you're forcing the allure and your Armorger to attack. So this is kind of like how I did it the first time. I had to use 2 ally attackers and an Armorger and Visix. Visix also works because she has turn meter reduction on her A1. So Visix also works, but then she's also very tanky because she's defense based. But it's an option that you can use to clear it. So just an idea. But these are 2 like obviously epic and rare teams. Cold Heart works. Cold Heart needs to be fast because she has a 4-turn cooldown on the Heartseeker. Allure is going to be MVP. Roll Guard is going to be MVP, and then any kind of speed booster with turn meter increase. Visix works, like I said. And obviously utilizing ally attackers will also help as well if you guys are low on turn meter champions. So I can show you guys a quick run on my main team and see how it works. So it's on full preset. So obviously this is like a better version of what you guys are looking for. So wave 1, kill the wave. Wave 2, you want to make sure you don't use all your big skills that you want to save for the Dark Fae encounter. So for me, I decide to keep the Roll Guard A3, the turn meter reduction, and I want to keep Herndig's big AoE slam so that he can AoE our team. And then obviously have Allure do A1 only after her opening AoE. There we go. Team's down, and then now Dark Fae is locked down. So as soon as Dark Fae doesn't get doesn't resist our initial turn meter stuff, it's basically a win. Oh look, she resisted Herndig's turn meter reduction. So I mean, it's possible that something can happen here. It's getting kind of close. Getting kind of close actually. Happens once in a while. But we're back. This team's like a 95-96% team. Very rarely fails. And it's fast enough that I don't mind rerunning it even if it does fail. But anyways, this video is mostly to show you guys some options with rare and epic and budget options. This is obviously my main farming team. Lysandra and Herndig are legendaries. I don't expect you guys to have those. But yeah, this is pretty consistent, like minute 50, 2-minute team. 81 turns here. Yeah, so that's kind of like how the encounter works. You want to slam your mirror down and then start doing the turn meter stuff. And if your champions are fast enough, you can start inserting more damage dealers. But if you're just trying to get through this for the first time, then you know, don't worry too much about damage. Worry about the turn meter. Make sure you have the accuracy to land your turn meter stuff, or your and then make sure you're fast enough to keep her down. So minimum 250 speed, because that's what she's going at. So you want to go at least that. Try to apply speed down. Try to apply speed up on yourself. Try to have turn meter up. Try to have turn meter down on her. And yeah, you'll slowly beat her down with like War Masters and Giant Slayers and stuff if you guys have your team mastered up. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully show you guys maybe some different strategies that will give you guys some ideas. Like I said, like these are the teams that I used for more budget options. Obviously the gear is pretty good, but like on this team, actually I ran very low, very close to not working out, because you want at least 330 accuracy. Speed is good, but yeah, And like I said, you guys can cut the damage, cut survivability if you guys need to re-gear, if you guys are short on gear. But yeah, Dark Fae is definitely really important to farm, so make sure you guys get a solid farm after you guys clear it for the first time. And yeah, hopefully yeah, you guys have a team, and best of luck. See you guys in the next one.